Welcome back to another episode of Sailing Ole Skeeter. Ryan and I are still in Marathon. We end up moving our anchorage, doing some exploration on land, and doing a little bit more work to the boat. We're Ryan and Courtney, and together we bought a 40-year-old sailboat. We're starting with no previous sailing experience, but it's time for a new adventure. Follow along with us as we cruise through the Caribbean in our sailboat Ole Skeeter.
Alright, so we are moving our boat. The night before last, we had the anchor rod wrapped around our keel. The waves were pretty intense, the wind was pretty intense, and I tried to get the rod out from underneath the boat and around the boat, and in doing so the line got wrapped in the prop and it got cut in half, and so we lost our anchor, and we are in about 30 feet of water, and the water is extremely cloudy. I don't see us, and the current is very strong, so I don't really see us getting that anchor back. So we'll have to get a new anchor. Right now we have our Delta deployed. We only lost our fluke anchor, so luckily those are pretty cheap.
Well, that's another reason you also always have two anchors on board, I guess, in case things go bad.
Yep. So anyway, we are going to be moving the boat, which means I have to pull the anchor we have deployed now, and I really hate pulling up the anchors. They're very difficult.
We wanted to move away from the channel so we wouldn't be waked as often. We picked up anchor and then motored out just a little further and then anchored again. Once we were settled, it was time to get some more work done. So project today is pretty simple. Ryan's going to, I'm going to help him, but Ryan's going to replace the through hole on the side of the boat. Thankfully we don't have to pull it out of the water to do this. It's just one of the more topside through holes, and when we replace that, it will stop the water from leaking into our locker here, and it also kind of leaks into the engine a little bit. So just some good little maintenance to keep up on, because I guess somehow the through hole that's in there like broke, or it doesn't drain properly, so we're going to be fixing that today. That's the new through hole?
Yeah, this is a new through hole. Hose fits on this. We've got two of these, so luckily it's not essential. I mean, it is, but it's not under the water line where we're sinking or nothing. But anyway, this goes on the top of the deck. The other one goes on the side of the boat with a hose in between. So when water splashes on the top of the deck, it drains through to the side of the boat. So the part that we're replacing is this right here. It comes from the top, where the top deck is, and then out the side of the boat. So we're replacing this right here. So this right here was connected underneath to the top deck. So that part's still good, but we're not going to use any of this. But the part that broke is right here, and it's supposed to look like that.
Oh wow, yeah, that's no good.
And so what happened is anytime water was trying to drain out of this right here wasn't all the way outside the boat, so it was technically leaking into the boat. So it's not the biggest deal in the world, but
it could definitely be better. It's fixable, so we're gonna fix it.
Time to put some hose clamps on. We got to cut the hose, put it on there, and tighten the hose clamps. I'm finding through my experiences that you can never have enough hose clamps or too big or too small. I mean, I've used every size from itty bitty hose clamps to jumbo hose clamps. So buy yourself like 3 variety packs because they get used a lot. And this is just one pack that I have, and I just kind of threw them in there.
Our little collection.
But yeah, I've got a couple more boxes brand new unopened too. So, and go stainless if you can. Try not to use galvanized because it will rust. All right guys, time to cut our hose. Helps if you have a good box cutter. This hose is to connect the 2 through holes together so that they drain properly. This is the hard part, trying to duck down and then back up this locker, so it's quite difficult.
So there's the new through hole. She looks a lot better now.
Every time you say it's easy, it's never really easy. Trying to contort your body, and basically your arm twists this way, but you need it to go that way. So you got to find ways of, you know, contorting your body, and we ended up getting it in there all right.
But it's done. Through hole is in.
The through hole is in, and we will show you the final product here. There it is. The last thing to do is to test it. Make sure it doesn't leak. Perfect. It's pancake morning. So today we are making pancakes with a cinnamon applesauce, honey, and extra cinnamon mixture. And they are turning out amazing.
We made a good breakfast because it was time for us to do some underwater exploration. Although we just stayed close to the boat, it was fun to dive in and explore our Anchorage. So today we are going to go exploring around Marathon, mostly because we have to do some errands. Let's see, we have to go to West Marine because we have to get a reefing lock part for our sail.
Yeah, we can't even actually reef our sail right now, so it's either 100% up or nothing because the lock is broken. So we're going to be getting a part for that today.
We also have to go, well, we don't have to. We are also going to go to the liquor store. We need to go to Kmart because I am notorious for losing sunglasses, so I got to stock up on a couple pairs. And then we also just have to go to the Winn-Dixie because that's pretty much one of the only grocery stores here that's closer. So we're going to stock up on a little bit more food. Well, not stock up, but just kind of get some fresh stuff. I'm excited because we've been eating a lot of canned stuff and rice. Except for the snapper that Ryan caught me the other day.
Yeah, we've been meaning to get a little bit better and more involved in the fishing. We've actually only gone fishing once, and we've already caught like several shark, pufferfish, snapper. We let everything go except for the snapper.
It's kind of our plans for the day, so we'll take you guys with us while we go exploring. not having a good day. We had a pretty full cart by the time we left the store, but it felt good to have fresh food again. We waited for a taxi and then dinghied back to our boat. Once we got back, we had to unload the dinghy and put away all the groceries. It actually ends up being just a little challenging. Now that we had gotten some chores done, we decided to fish for a while. I caught a small hammerhead. Holy crap. Oh,
Sharks
strong.
are hard, huh?
He is strong. I can't even get him out of the water. Oh, here we go. Here we go. This is it. Come on, big boy.
You just leave him. You can leave him in the water. I'll have to rig your pole up and grab him.
And Ryan caught a different shark, but we aren't quite sure what kind this one was. It was definitely the biggest shark we've ever caught. That's a pretty decent sized one.
Baby, that is the biggest one I've ever caught in my life.
Oh wow, look at him. There, bring him up. There he is.
Crap.
Woo! Oh, there we go. Oh,
There you go, yay.
There, now take a picture. There it is.
I got it. I got it.
Get a good one. Get
Wow.
I got him.
He's
Back. After the
Go back.
excitement, we were
Go
ready
back,
to
baby.
tackle our next big project. So the day has finally come. It is time for us to paint this ugly boat. There are some spots where the previous owner has sanded it all the way down to bare fiberglass. So we are gonna go ahead and give her a good old scrub. And then we're gonna put primer where there's the bare fiberglass. We have some chips and some little cracks and stuff in the fiberglass and some spots on the deck. So we're gonna get some resin and just cover that up. And then once that dries, we'll continue scrubbing and just do a normal coat of paint everywhere else. Even though it's only a 36-foot boat, I think it'll take us a little bit, a few days, but it'll be a good project and it's begging to be done. Right now we have a lot of stuff all over the deck. On this side we have the container, the propane, the gas cans. On the other side we have the water jugs, another big bulky container, and my bike. So we'll have to get all that moved. But if you can see here on the sides, but you can see here between the windows that it's just the bare fiberglass where the guy before us sanded down. So that's where we have to put the primer. She'll be looking good in no time. finished sanding down the front portion of the top deck. So we are ready to go ahead and lay the primer out in the spots that we need to. We are not using probably the highest quality paint, although I think it'll work just fine for us. We're using just the Rust-Oleum brand Marine Coatings primer, and then the same thing with the paint. And it's supposed to work above the water line, which is what we need it for, and it works on wood or fiberglass, but we're just using it for the fiberglass, obviously. It was so exciting to finally be able to slap a new coat of paint on Ole Skeeter. She's needed it for quite some time, and now we're finally getting around to it. So the boat is about 3/4 of the way painted now. We have the entire deck here done. We just have the back part and the cockpit left, and it's just working on drying now. Here's the other side. I think it turned out really good. We probably won't have the rest of it done though until the next video is uploaded, but she's so close.